Trigger warning. This episode has mentions of suicide, SH, and CSA. If you are in emotional distress, please reach out for support and know you're not alone. You can reach out to the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline by calling or texting 988, or reach out to the Crisis text line by texting HOME to 741741. Both of these resources will be in the description. If you're unsure if these topics will trigger you, please muscle test before continuing. Thanks for listening.
Welcome to the Dance to Heal podcast. I'm your host, Jenny C. Cohen. Join me as I share stories of how life is a dance. I'm a cancer survivor, mother of two, and an award-winning performer who found that mind and body-connected movement is vital to healing in a way that is safe and tailored to your life. I created Dance to Heal Wellness featuring the Spotlight Confidence Formula and also authored the best-selling award-winning book, Outside in Recovery, Dancing My Way Back to Myself After Breast Cancer. I will bring new ways to help you on your dance journey and healing path. Are you ready to move? Dance to Heal starts now.
And you start to heal your self-talk. The thing that I've learned about love that has really shaken everything and helped me create the growth method that I teach is that it's not about what you are doing in love that really matters or decides whether you're going to have a loving that's going to hurt and violate yourself and others, or if it's going to free you. It's where you are loving from that matters. Are you connected to your own loving? Are you connected to the part of yourself that is the abuser, that was taught by the abusers that you had in your life? The best thing you can do to take revenge from the ones that hurt you is to heal every single place that they hurt you.
Yeah. It's so true. It's so true. And we're reminding you, audience, that power you have. You have that power. No one else actually has the power. In recovery with one of my children, and we often talk about the internal family systems, integrating all the different parts from childhood. You know, I have to remind my daughter, I can only mother the current you. The child you, where we discovered she had some trauma and abuse, only she can reach. We can't reach her.
Yeah, you can be any amount of wealthy and well-connected. You could be anybody. Imagine somebody who's the most wealthy connected person that you know. Nobody can do that work for you. You can't hire anybody to do the work of loving yourself in those tiny sacred places that only you can reach.
Absolute truth right there. One of the other ways that you can learn to love yourself is also just to be present. I have a hard time not being hard myself, similar to what you're saying, Sanya, before about being late for something that we have no business being late for. It's been on my calendar. I've watched the time since 8 o'clock that morning, and I'm still late for that, whatever appointment that day. And the talk that comes out of my mouth, even before I'm aware of it, right? I love your suggestion of saying back to yourself, you have no business just saying or speaking to me in that way.
Mm-hmm.
Those are times I'm not present in my body because I'm so stressed about being late and all the layers of information and storytelling I put on top of being late. I'm there and not present in my body, because when I'm present in my body, it's a quick text to the appointment. I'm running late. I'll be right there. No stress, right? Or the hour before, realizing I should confirm and see if this time's still good for them versus that moment.
What is the best way to get into your body in a moment like that, Jenny?
For me, it's always breath work. I have alarms set on my clock, Sanya, every hour. It's either 1111 or 2222 or 3333, right? Where it's a reminder just to do some box breathing. Audience, box breathing is when you inhale for 4, hold for 4, and then exhale for 4 and hold for 4, and you just repeat that pattern. I also will ask my clients to add in their 5 senses while they're doing the breath work, and then that gets them centered real fast. So when I do that, I'm always ahead of my calendar. When I forget to do it, that's when I get irritated with my husband talking to me while I'm eating lunch, things like that. And it's been something very helpful. What do you do when, besides the you have no right to speak to me that way type of boundary with yourself, are there other things that you do to keep yourself in the loving perspective relationship?
I use the body too, because sometimes the body is many times going to react before other parts of you. So for example, I will work with every single client of mine, and including myself, because I'm always my first client, to figure out what happens. For me, my face gets hot, and and my breath starts to really like get very tight and constricted throat. So I know for a fact that when those markers happen, it is the breath that I use too. And I love that you have something so precise, because box breathing gives such a perfect image that's so followable. And what I do is that when I take the first breath in, I almost imagine that I'm traveling through that air that I'm taking in through my nostrils inside me. And I remind myself there is an inside me too, because all I can see is the exterior surface stuff. It's like, remember, there's more to you, Sanya. So that I get reminded. Once I've traveled in, then I just sometimes hold my breath, because my manage my heart a little bit, and then just keep on deepening my breath until I can feel it.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. The other trick that I used a lot, Jenny, especially when somebody is in a conversation with me that's gotten heated,
Hmm.
is that I really listen. I don't answer until I've heard my breath. So I'm speaking to you right now. So obviously I'm breathing, but if I need to hear my breath, I'm going to have to become quiet. And if I really concentrate, I'm able to hear it. Because I forget. I forget that there's another part of me, that there is calm. So it reminds me that there is an insight that you can connect with.
Oh, I like that reminder. I have a very not strict, but pretty strict morning routine I do,
Mhm.
where besides just washing my face and putting on my anti-pimple medicine. Sorry, audience. We were talking and commiserating about going through a second puberty, being on my hormone replacement treatment. I do have a whole technique to realign with my purpose and my truth every morning. And then there's energy clearing that I do, and drops and sprays to get myself really centered. And then I discovered the last month that I actually have to do something similar to box breath besides my alarms, similar to my morning and evening routine, because I go deep sometimes with my clients and then I forget to come back to my body. Right?
Yes.
So if you're very busy during the day, audience members, make sure you're taking time out. You really deserve it. We've discovered my husband wasn't taking good, strong, restive lunches. And I had to tell him, no, honey, like you have to schedule snacks, not snacks throughout the day and then try and make it up at dinner. He lives at home. It's not like the kitchen's not right one flight down. But he was in this mindset, I have to make money and we have these debts to pay. And I was like, stop. That will come. We're talking every week about our money and situation. You don't have to shoulder this alone. Please make sure you're eating, because I don't want to talk to you after 3 if you don't. And then he reset, and there was such a difference in his ability to be clear, he said, in his workday, and also being present, because he's a recruiter, so he talks all day long to people and is empathetic, but then he's drained by the end of the day. So if you're not doing that for yourself, I mean, I still have to send you that recording, Sanya, for my somatic stretches. Even if I
Yeah.
just teach a 30-minute class, I have to reset afterwards, because I'm giving energy to the people attending it, also the future people watching the recording.
Mhm. That's absolutely true. And I really love how you explained this thing about your husband, because that is exactly what happens whenever I get snappy with my husband. Like he's just living besides me, and I just want to get annoyed by his existence. It's like he doesn't have to do much. I know that at that time or that day, I did not treat myself well, because whatever is going on inside us, the way we treat others, it's a mirror to how we treat ourselves. So if you want to ever change the way you're treating somebody, or somebody saying that I don't want you to treat me like that, the place to go is inside, because there's only so much cognitive decision making that you can do where you can say, I won't do it, I won't do it, I won't do it. At some point, your muscles are going to relax. And when your butt cheeks are going to unclench, whatever is unhealed is going to come out and it's going to make a mess. So you got to clean the inside, go from inside out.
Oh, I love that. Go from the inside out. It's like the movie Inside Out.
Yes,
Love that
that's
movie.
true. Yes,
Bawled
me
like a baby with the first one because I was like, oh, Angor basically has commandment of my dashboard from my youth.
Yeah. I was like, why didn't they have this when I was a kid? They just had Cinderella. That's just,
And Cinderella was like blonde, and she didn't even look like me with the brunette. I couldn't even
no.
find a, you know, audience. I don't know if you're even close to our age, like my age. I'm way older than you, Sanya. But like I'm talking about the original Charlie's Angels, okay, before Lucy Liu was part of it, and there was no one that looked Asian in anywhere. Yeah, anywhere. And so I remember pretending that the brunette with the short bob was Asian because she kind of had an Asian haircut.
Yes.
When you're starting out on your healing journey, it's important to know that that healed portion of you is in the future waiting for you to catch up. You don't need to look to anyone else, all right? Because sometimes we're more susceptible to people misleading us if you don't check in with yourself first in your healing.
Anything that you do, healing, loving, if you haven't checked in with yourself, you've left yourself behind. You've not opened yourself up to hurt, to violation, to abuse. I remember reading a quote by Eleanor Roosevelt. No one can mistreat you unless you allow it. And I was so upset. I was like, Eleanor, I really liked you. And I was so offended because that would just fit me so well. I was very hurt by so many people, but I didn't want to admit that it was me. I was the first person who was hurting myself. I was the first abuser, and then the others.
Hmm. I remember that also. I had a pivotal moment where I got so angry when I was handed my own healing and said that I was responsible for that, not the people who
Right.
hurt me. That's a hard pill to swallow, y'all.
It's
It's so
hard because
it's
it
so
feels
hard.
like blame. It feels like
Yes.
blame, right? It's like, oh, victim blaming. I remember that, I've been through a lot of betrayal and infidelity, and I remember that when I had healed myself, I was telling my twin brothers who were 12 years younger than me, and I started taking responsibility for the various abuses that happened. And my brothers turned to me and they said, you know what? I can't believe you're saying that. They were so angry with me for taking responsibility. And they were like, this is exactly why. I remember this so well. They're like, this is why people cheat on you. And I was like, and I totally understood where they came from because I was that person too, where I was like, oh my God, are you victim blaming? But the biggest problem with being a victim is that you get to be one. And no one can shift that for you except for yourself. And when you are in that victim energy, the people who want to victimize you will find you. They will smell you. You apparently there's some victim pheromones that we give off or it's tattooed on our forehead.
Oh, I'm so glad you brought that up. So, audience member, paying very close attention to this because I have a story to tell you completely correlated to this. I did not heal until we helped one of my fraternal twins through their healing. Okay. So, one of my twins was going through a period of self harm. So, a little bit of a trigger warning, family. All right. And this 14-year-old came to me and was just sharing that they didn't want to be alive much longer. And then showing me scars of self harm. And then we discovered that, it was from some essay from when they were 3 from a family member. It was devastating the whole family. And as they healed, they started college. And there was a summer class where, because University of Utah, it's a public university, anyone can come and take classes. They may not get college credits, but it's just the way the public access university is set up. And she had a summer session where anyone could come. And there was this one older white gentleman whose physique was very similar to the person that had abused her. And he would not leave her alone. He would walk behind her on his way to the bathroom when she would be seated nowhere close to the door to the bathroom. He would just, one time he brushed up against her, right? And we had to address that in therapy. And then we tag team between her twin brother and I to just be in the room because it's public access. I could go in the room, and I actually have videos of him, his eyes going to her when he walked by. Okay, and then that was what we were dealing with, what this child was dealing with 5 years after we realized that there had been SA when they were 3. Through the healing process, now, because we've figured out what was the originator of the suicidal ideation and the self-harm. People they jump out of the way when this child walks down the street. It used to be my child would spring out of the way. They saw someone biking from a mile away just in case they were coming towards them. Now, when this young adult walks down the road, people that looked like that man would veer off and she would walk through them.
Amazing.
Right?
That's so cool. That gave me the chills, Jenny.
Right? And it's really interesting because in healing this child, I realized that I had gone through similar SA when I had been shipped off to relatives for an 8-month period. And then I went, oh, that led to my trigger warning, family, my date rape in college. Because I didn't know that I was a beacon for the abuse. Right? And so things like this, it's not that we're saying, oh, I brought it on myself. I just didn't know I had to heal that. And I was literally calling on people who were looking for people who didn't know they had to heal. Or it was a deep, dark family secret. Or they told someone, but they didn't believe them and they were sent to foster care and all these additional things that were stacked up on top. Since the healing though, right? So to be really honest with you, my wonderful audience members, I'm 57, so I grew up in the age where being Asian was very exotified and
Sexualized too.
very sexualized. And anytime I met a person of the opposite sex, I had to be very careful. I had to be very distant because it would be seen as, oh, she's interested. I can make a move. I mean, I'm old and married now. However, I still have that reserve because I have to be very careful, right? And I've noticed that now I'm not needing to do that because I'm very clear with my boundaries.
Yes. You meet different people, you have different energies. And this is why, it really confused me why people said that, oh, if you can't find the right people, you have to change your energy. I'm like, what are they talking? What is this BS? And what I didn't realize is that when you heal these parts of you, you are giving off a different energy, and people who there's no match with that person who's going to abuse her, and they're going to take the other road because they can't feel what they need to feel from this person to be their victim anymore. Energetics are very real. People feel them all the time.
I love that.
I do this little study because I also help people who are people who say, okay, this marriage cannot be healed. I'm their person. And I help people heal those types of marriages. And so I have done this secret study all these years where when I always say, what happened? Your person was telling you all along that they want to get a divorce. This was the 50th time. Why did you believe them this one time? And every single time, the answer is the same, Jenny. It's never about the words people are using because people are so careful. They discuss with their friends. They, decide, write down what they're going to say. It doesn't really matter what you say. But when you're connected to that energy where I'm done, the I'm done energy, they know this is the end. You cannot abuse me anymore. It is finished. Same person, same situation, same room, same relationship. They just know because you know in the inside. So it's what you're connected to. Are you connected to that part of yourself that knows that this is no longer going to be something that I'm going to put up with?
So, are you ready, audience, to know about true self love? I'm going to remind you again that you can get your gift from Sanya at her website at Sanya, SanyaBari.com. And also the link in this episode, make sure you go to that second gift. And a reminder to you that you always have the on-demand dance and stretch class from me at Dance and Heal. The Heal is HEAL.com. And I'm going to get in big trouble with the editor because we went beyond time and we might have to split this episode into two, folks. So you might be seeing this first half and second half. Sanya, thank you so much. I think we're going to have you come back because I think we only just started to even delve into some of this talking. Thank you very much for coming. Really, truly. You've just totally brightened my whole life, I think.
Thank you, Jenny. You know that you are a North Star for so many and for me. So thank you for having me.
All right, audience members, we will see you next time. Bye-bye. Thanks for listening to the Dance to Heal podcast with Jenny C. Cohen. Come back next time to hear stories of inspiring triumph and learn more ways that you can heal yourself. To work with me and continue your journey, visit danceandheal.com. Are you ready to move?